She left me for a millionaire who didn't exist. In 48 hours, her fantasy turned into a nightmare. If you had told me a year ago that the woman I married, the one I bought a damn house with, laughed with, fought beside, built a life for, would leave me for some shirtless CEO she met on Instagram, I wouldn't have believed you. But that's exactly what happened. Her name's Elena. We were married for 6 years. 6 real years. Not perfect, but they were ours. We had Taco Tuesdays, Sunday morning laundry arguments, matching mugs from a corny Etsy shop. I thought we were solid. I thought wrong. It started small. Always does. She started getting weird about her phone, flipping it over when I walked into the room, laughing at texts she wouldn't let me see, saying it's just a work friend way too often. I tried not to be paranoid. I gave her space, gave her trust, but it kept building. She got obsessed with this guy on social media, some flashy real estate mogul named Christian Vance. I only knew his name because I saw her watching his videos while making dinner one night. He was the usual Instagram bro. Lambos, Miami sunsets, long captions about manifesting abundance. Total walking red flag. I joked about it. She didn't laugh. One day, out of nowhere, she looked at me across the breakfast table, calm, almost serene, and said, "I think I'm done. I met someone. His name is Christian. We're in love." I swear I forgot how to breathe for a second. I just sat there, toast halfway to my mouth. My world cracked open and spilled all over the damn countertop. "You what?" "He gets me. He's a visionary. You've always been safe. Like that was a bad thing, like being loyal wasn't sexy anymore." She packed that night, no screaming match, no begging, no drama. She just zipped her stupid gold suitcase and walked out the door like she was off to a damn yoga retreat instead of blowing up our entire life. "You'll understand someday," she said. "This is bigger than us." I stood there, stunned as she walked out. I didn't follow, didn't fight. Just whispered to myself, "I hope you get everything you deserve." And I meant it. She left with this glow, like she had just leveled up in some cosmic love game. She really thought she had upgraded. "He understands my soul," she said, tossing years of history into a duffel bag. Nah, he understood marketing. He understood lonely women scrolling through their phones at 2 a.m., dreaming of something shinier than their real lives. I didn't even have the energy to get angry that first night. I just sat there in the living room, staring at the dent on the couch cushion where she used to sit. Her coffee mug was still on the table, lipstick smudge and everything. She didn't even take it. I started doing what anyone would do when their world suddenly snaps in half. I went down a rabbit hole. Searched Christian Vance. At first it looked impressive. His Instagram bio was a nightmare of buzzwords. Real estate tycoon, crypto investor, soul coach, billionaire mindset only. There were photos of yachts, Bentleys, fancy dinners, hotel lobbies that looked like movie sets. I clicked on the tags, dug deeper, checked comments. Something wasn't adding up. Same cars in different cities, same suit, same captions, copy-pasted weeks apart. Then I found it. A Reddit thread. Title, "Anyone else been scammed by Christian Vance?" My blood ran cold. Turns out, Christian Vance wasn't a real estate CEO. He was a con artist, a full-time scammer with a side hustle in fake mentoring. He rented Airbnbs and pretended they were his homes. Hired photographers to follow him around for 48 hours, then stretched those photos out across 6 months of content. He'd pick women out of his DMs like they were lotto numbers. Love bomb them, talk about building empires, use them for their credit cards, their Venmo, their connections. Then ghost, or worse, string them along while lining up the next. And my wife? She fell for it. Hard. I didn't say anything. Not yet. I wasn't about to save her. She left me. She picked him, and the truth was going to hit like a freight train, soon. I could already feel it building. That moment when the curtain lifts and she sees the man she bet everything on is nothing but smoke and hashtags. I didn't have to raise a hand. Life was already winding up to slap her for me. It happened faster than I thought. I figured it'd take a week, maybe 2. But nope. 48 hours. That's how long her little fantasy lasted. She posted a picture of them on her Instagram story. Her and Christian in some luxury condo, sipping champagne with a view of downtown. It was geotagged in Miami. 2 hours later, story deleted, profile picture gone, her account went private. That's when I knew it started. The first call came the next morning. I let it ring. Didn't even flinch. Then came the text. Can you please call me? Please. I stared at it. Didn't respond. 3 hours later, another message. I made a mistake. Please just talk to me. I wanted to laugh, not because I thought it was funny, but because it was all so damn predictable. You ditch your marriage for a guy you met on a 60-second reel, and then realize you're not the star of some Instagram fairy tale. You're the mark. She finally called from a different number. I picked up. Curiosity, mostly. You have no idea what he did, she said, her voice shaking. Try me. She told me everything. They flew to Miami, at her expense, of course. He said he was waiting on a wire transfer, some deal closing. She covered the hotel, dinners, and the flight. He told her he loved her the second night. And the third morning, he left. Disappeared from the room while she was in the shower. Left behind a fake name, a disconnected phone, and an empty wallet. He took her purse, her laptop, and even her passport. Wiped her clean. You were right, she whispered, like that was supposed to fix something. I know, I said, but go on. She broke. I could hear it. That moment when ego shatters and shame finally rushes in. I don't know what to do. I don't have anything. I need help. I stayed silent for a beat. Because part of me wanted to help. The old version of me, the one who still loved her, still felt responsible for her. But the man she left behind? He was done playing the safe, soft landing. Elena, I said, calm and clear, you chased your dream, now wake up. Then I hung up. She showed up 3 days later. I heard the knock, looked through the peephole, and yeah. There she was. Hair tied up in a loose bun, hoodie way too big, probably mine actually, and eyes so puffy it looked like she hadn't slept since Miami. She clutched her phone in one hand, car keys in the other. No bags, no drama, just the kind of raw, broken energy you can smell from the hallway. I opened the door, didn't say anything. She just looked at me, lip trembling, and said, I didn't know where else to go. I nodded slowly. That makes 2 of us. She stepped inside without asking. I didn't stop her. But I didn't exactly welcome her in either. She walked to the kitchen, like muscle memory pulled her there. Sat on the same bar stool she used to drink her oat milk lattes on while scrolling Zillow listings for dream homes we never got close to affording. He wasn't who I thought. She started, her voice cracked and hollow. He lied about everything. The companies, the money, even his name. I know, I said. I looked him up the night you left. That hit her hard. She blinked fast, like her body was trying to push out the shame through her eyes. Why didn't you stop me? I let out a short laugh. Not out of humor, out of disbelief. Stop you? You called him your soulmate, Elena. You said I was just safe. I was your fucking husband, not your prison guard. She went quiet, real quiet. And I could see it. She wasn't just sorry. She was cracked wide open. I poured her a glass of water, sat across from her, not close, not comforting, just present. What do you want from me? I asked, honestly. I don't know, she said. I need time, space to figure things out. I don't have anyone else. There it was. Not love, not remorse, just survival. She wasn't looking for me, she was looking for safety. Again. But I'd learned my lesson. You can crash here for one night, that's it, I said flatly. After that, you figure it out, just like I had to. She nodded, didn't cry, didn't argue. She slept on the couch that night while I locked my bedroom door. And let me tell you, lying in that bed alone, it didn't feel lonely anymore. It felt earned. The next morning I found her sitting on the edge of the couch, the blanket crumpled on the floor, her hands wrapped around that same chipped coffee mug I hadn't used since she left. She looked smaller somehow, deflated, but I didn't feel sorry. Not anymore. I felt done. You sleep? I asked. Barely, she whispered. I nodded, grabbed my keys, and tossed her a granola bar on the counter. I've got work. When I get back, I need you gone. That was it. No argument, no sob story, just finality. She didn't cry. Maybe she knew there were no more cards to play. Maybe she was too exhausted to fake it. Either way, she just sat there and nodded like she finally understood. You don't get to set fire to your life and expect the person you burned to bring you water. While I was at work, I got a text. Just one. Thank you for not shutting the door in my face. I know I didn't deserve it. I didn't reply. Because she was right. She didn't. I got home that night, and the place was quiet. Cleaner than I expected. No sign of her except the mug, washed and set neatly on the drying rack. Like she thought it would earn her back a sliver of grace. It didn't. There was a post-it on the counter. Her handwriting, sharp and slanted. "I'm sorry, I only realized what I had after I lost it. Thank you for not becoming the monster I turned you into in my head." I read it once, then I threw it away. Later that night, I sat on the couch she slept on and let the silence hit me. I could have loved her forever. That version of me, the one who forgave too easily, who made excuses for cold shoulders and disappearing affection, he would have taken her back. But he's gone. The new me? He's busy building a life where being safe isn't a flaw, where love means staying, even when it's boring or hard or real. It had been about 2 weeks. Elena was gone. No calls, no texts, no Instagram quotes about healing or growing through pain. Radio silence. I figured she was probably couch surfing or back in the comment sections of CEOs on TikTok pretending she wasn't freshly divorced and dead broke. That was her problem now. Me? I was slowly starting to breathe again. Still weird. Still quiet. Still found her bobby pins in drawers I hadn't touched yet. But I was moving forward. Then one night, Thursday I think, I get a knock on the door. Soft. 2 taps. And there she was, Maya. You don't know Maya. She was Elena's old friend. Not close, but they used to hang out years ago. Double dates, group dinners, that kind of thing. She was always the one asking real questions, always noticed when something was off. When Elena laughed a little too loud, or when I stopped making eye contact. We hadn't talked since the split. I assumed she'd vanished with the rest of Elena's orbit. But there she was. Hoodie, messy bun, takeout in one hand, 6-pack of cheap beer in the other. "Don't freak out," she said, holding up the food. "I brought tacos and an apology." I raised an eyebrow. She sighed. I knew something was off with her, with him, all of it. I just didn't know what to say. And by the time I figured it out, it was too late. I felt like I'd be intruding if I reached out. I stepped aside and let her in, not because I needed company, but because her honesty didn't feel like pity. It felt like respect. We sat on the floor eating tacos and drinking warm beer like 2 people who survived something awful. She didn't press, didn't pry, just listened. Laughed when I said I still sleep with a pillow wall where Elena used to be. Nodded when I admitted I hated the silence but wasn't ready for noise either. She looked me dead in the eye at one point and said, "I don't think you were ever boring, by the way." I think she was too chaotic to recognize stability. I didn't say anything back, but I felt it, like someone had just reached in and flipped a switch I didn't know was off. We didn't kiss that night. No sudden sparks, no dramatic new beginning music playing in the background. But when she left, she turned and said, "If you ever want to talk again, or just like eat tacos and talk shut, you know where to find me." And for the first time in a long time, I smiled and said, "Yeah, I'd like that." After that first night, she didn't text me right away. Didn't flood me with good mornings or check-ins. She just gave me space, like she knew I needed to remember who I was without someone else always filling the room. And somehow, that made me want to talk to her more. A week later, I hit her up. Just a simple, "Tacos again? I'll grab beer this time." She replied, "Only if it's the crappy kind again." We sat on my back porch this time. No lights, just the hum of the street lamps and the sound of summer air. She brought blankets. I brought stories I hadn't told anyone since before Elena. Stuff that wasn't even about the marriage, just about me. About how I used to play guitar before work and money made everything serious. About how I wanted to start my own business once but talked myself out of it. She listened. Not like most people do, just waiting for their turn to speak. She actually heard me. At one point, I caught myself looking at her. Really looking and thinking, damn, when did this girl become the safest place in my life? Not because she was perfect, but because she wasn't trying to be anything. She wasn't pretending to be a dream girl or promising me forever. She was just there. No drama, no pressure, no disappearing acts in Miami, just tacos, sarcasm, and real-ass conversation. Weeks passed. We started texting more, seeing each other more. Still casual, still no expectations. Until one night, she showed up wearing this oversized hoodie and fuzzy socks, carrying a carton of mint chocolate chip ice cream like it was peace offering. "Rough day?" I asked. Just one of those I hate the entire world but still want to be around you kind of days, she said. She curled up on my couch, legs tucked under her, ice cream balanced dangerously in her lap. We watched the dumbest movie. Didn't even finish it. Somewhere in the middle of the second act, she leaned against me. Not needy, not seductive, just tired, safe, home. There wasn't some big romantic monologue, no rain-soaked kiss, no moment where Maya looked at me and said, "I've loved you since forever." That's not how it went down. What happened was quieter. It was me making coffee one morning and realizing I poured 2 cups without thinking. One black, one with oat milk and cinnamon. It was her texting me on a random Tuesday, "Hope your meeting goes well, you got this." And me smiling like an idiot in the middle of a gas station parking lot. It was watching her help a stray cat off my porch like it was a sacred mission, then crying when it finally purred in her lap. It was consistency. It was softness. It was real. I told her how I felt in the most boring, un-Hollywood way imaginable. We were sitting in traffic on a bridge. She was rambling about how cereal is just soup, and I said, "I think I love you." She blinked, didn't even pause for dramatic effect. Just reached across the center console, squeezed my hand, and said, "I know, I love you too." No fireworks, no violin swell, just us, alive, honest, safe. Elena tried reaching out once, sent me a long email about growth and forgiveness and how she realized I was the one who got away. Even attached an old photo of us at some beach. I didn't respond. Not out of bitterness, but because I didn't owe her closure anymore. She got her chance. She set it on fire. And me? I built something from the ashes. Not a fairy tale, not a revenge plot, just something real, slow, and sturdy. A few months ago, I asked Maya if she wanted to move in. She said yes, on one condition. We still do Taco Thursdays, and you let me decorate the porch like a grandma in fall. Deal. Now there's a blanket on our couch that always smells like her perfume, a toothbrush next to mine, and 2 coffee mugs on the drying rack every night. I don't think love is about finding someone who makes you feel butterflies. I think it's about finding someone who doesn't flinch when your wings are broken. And if you're lucky, they help you remember how to fly again. Comment below, what would you have done if you were him when she came crawling back? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell for more real-life betrayals, satisfying karma, and dramatic twists you'll never forget. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.